Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ajeeb Tariq. I am a visual artist and an educator. And I know I haven't been uploading for a long time. To be honest, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know why. But if you don't, we have a very big news for you, which is that we just launched our school community, which is called Ajeeb TV. Now, the whole idea of Ajeeb TV is not something new. We have been running a community on Instagram, on Slack. We've been doing physical events, virtual events, live streams, boot camps, and we realized that the system was broken. Just to get into some technicalities, like we put up an Instagram post, there would be many chat connected, so people would comment, they would get a Zoom link, they would come to Zoom, and then we'd tell them to come to Slack. So much was going on. And now we have everything on school, which is Ajeeb TV. The whole idea is that if you're part of the community, you have access to all of the things that are happening in the calendar, courses, community threads, and so much more. So if you're someone who wants to grow creatively and make more money while being a creative, you should definitely join the community. Now, that being said, let's get into our video. Now, our video today is nothing that we haven't done before. We've created so many brands in just 1 hour. And obviously, like I say this again, you can never make a brand in an hour. Obviously, these are just ideas that we put out on the screen, right? And the best part is to just practice and have fun. And this is the same exercise that you will see that we did with our bootcamp students who were part of our community, where we sat down and we prompted ourselves with the help of ChatGPT, and we ended up making a brand from scratch. We will be choosing the brief. Now, in terms of the brief, which brief are you guys more interested in? Should we do like a logo type thing all together in 1 hour? We decide a brief, or we just can do like a Comic Sans poster thing. Actually, I'll make like a poll over here so you guys can vote, so no one cheats. Okay, 4 and 1, sorry. Okay, 5 and 2. Okay, why am I telling it to you guys? I can just show the results. Okay, so now that's it. So Bento Branding Grid is winning. Let's end the poll. All three should be diff industries. First one is called mental health, which is called Mindspace. The second one, food and hospitality industry, it's called Bun and Bite. And the third is fashion and culture industry, which is Rethread. And I want everyone to do the same brief, by the way. That's the whole point of it. So we all have something fun to work with. Okay, I think food is winning. So Bun and Bite it is. So the idea is, don't ask questions, just take instant decisions. That's what I want you guys to do. So don't think too much. Obviously, you guys can mood board, but not too long. It's 4:42 over here. It's 42, whatever, wherever you are. So we will finish at exactly 42. Does that work? Can everyone give me a yes? Okay, we are on. Okay. Now, whenever I've done this before with my students, they are very annoyed that I'm talking the whole time, right? And it doesn't help you think, but maybe that just makes it a bit harder. Okay, but it's okay. I'm actually gonna try to make one also. Bun and Bite. So usually my process is, I would want to find like a nice reference brand at first, right? Look at a brand and go like, okay, this is what Bun and Bite could be, right? Bun and Bite, what an interesting name. See, we have a street vibe to it. I like this visual, very yellow, very red, interesting. Do I want to do a red one? I think I want to. I'll copy this image. And I know if I'm going with like a red vibe, I am trying to just get like more visuals in that way. I've made the decision, I want it to be red, I want it to be yellow with like dark browns. And then just find more things that have like references regarding our font and the feel. And I think the bento grid layout could be the last thing. Once you figured out like a logo, right? Thinking about what the layout will look like, that's like the last thing that you could spend the last 10 minutes on, maybe 5 minutes. Getting our fonts done. Okay, I got this one font. I feel like this looks very cool. I'm gonna stick with this one. Like I'm gonna make it yellow. This looks good, but the problem is that it's a bit too much. Street, let's do food street. Pakistan, let's see what do we get over here. This looks good. Now I could be using this. Now I'm gonna try to, obviously if I was in Photoshop, I can try more different things, you know, like the threshold that you don't have over here. Okay, amazing. I like this. Whatever this is, I think this looks good. The chaos of people, we have that over here in the visual. We have all of this. I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT. No napkins, no regret. Bring my color in and let's bring the text. Honestly, I feel like I've seen this logo like this font somewhere. Yes, this is the typography on the sauce. Look at this. I don't know, you guys don't need to, but this is the font. I feel like it has a very similar feel to it, probably. I mean, this is a free version. Maybe the paid version of the font may have more like weights and stuff like that. Kodo Mono looks good. I could work with this, honestly. It doesn't look that bad. Okay. Now we could have like a picture of a bun kebab. Let's do that. Yeah, I think I want to just remove the background, you know, so the food comes clearly. There is a way to remove images, backgrounds in Figma, but I am not that good at it. Okay, this is good. I want to bring in another layer so I can have the shadows. Okay guys, we are at 507. Okay, I think there could be a shorter logo for this, which could be just B and B. How small, you may ask? I think I would do like 50% or 60% of it, but right now we are not going to spend too much time on it. Okay, so I have my menu cards done. Now it is only about thinking about how much time do I want to spend on other things, right? Right click, frame selection. So we have one menu card that works. Okay, amazing, Abdullah. Okay, very American style burger feel to it. Okay, we have some font explorations over here at the bottom. Okay, on page 2, okay, that is Farhan. Next to Farhan is Minhal. I think Minhal just generated this image from AI. Looks very cool. I like the typography, very Cartoon Network vibes to it. Very interesting. Okay, perfect. I think Farhan is also locked down his colors, and he's also bringing a bun kebab. Very nice. Okay, now let's go to the bento grid part. So there's so many options of this like grid thing. I'm just gonna just go and choose one that works, even though there are like a lot of things that are going here, but I'm just gonna stick to this. You can play around with how much radius do you want on your object, by the way. That is definitely up to you. Okay, I've got 3 frames, and I don't know why I chose the hardest one with so many frames. One box could be just the color palette, by the way. That's an easy win. But I think this is a nice poster. Okay, I've made it slightly easier for myself. I've removed 2 boxes, made the poster bigger, and the bottom part I want to make it black. And what do I want to add there is, let's see. But whoa, Nawar just came in after some time on Figma. He's working with an orange and a yellow thing, a very cute, happy vibe situation. Okay, Nawar is on it, very lovely. Okay, I think he has finished his. I think you can even work with this one, Nawar, which is amazing. Make some stripes. Still looks like a German flag. Okay, I'll not do the color palette because it looks like a German flag, so we need to figure out something. We have 36, that means we have less than 10 minutes, guys. Mockup sitting here. Mockup. We have a nice poster mockup, not on the Vibe, a retro TV maybe, a JPEG. We've got a pizza box. Okay, we could do a pizza box, you know, that won't be a bad thing. Let's do a pizza box. Let's a quick pizza box thing in 2 minutes. Let's see, what do we get? Boom. And let's bring in a color. Let's do this one, Control C. And what do we have over here? Not bad. It's right here, pizza. Okay, and let's put it over here. Matter. Okay, I think this is our front of the box. Perfect. Let's do like a side. Guys, 5 more minutes and then we are done. Okay, last slide with this one. I will just... Okay, when I say the time is up, you guys should act like, you know how they act like in MasterChef? Just, you know, show of hands. That's what we'll do, okay? So you must be prepared. I feel like it's a bit too yellow going on everywhere. Let's make it black. Let's make these yellow. Perfect. Okay, amazing. I think I'm done. I am officially done. We'll just start checking out the work. Okay. Nawar. Okay, Nawar. I like the vibe, honestly. It has a very hippie vibe to it. So very nice. Even the visual over here itself works out. I think I like this one slightly better with the bolder version of the logo, but it looks very cool. I feel like for a 1 hour thing, this looks very cool. I think this is very interesting. The B and the B, and it like, it works out. It has like this negative space thing also. So I like this approach. Obviously, if you spend more time on it, you can kind of play around with this one also. And I'm obviously judging it for the 1 hour bracket that we had. So that is very cool. So a good start. Z, who is this?
That's mine.
I think a few things that I feel like are very interesting, especially what you're doing with the type and the font, right? That itself has so much room to like kind of play around with. And then the illustration part, obviously it needs a bit more figuring out, but even the illustration looks very cool, like Shalwar Kameez guy, very intense, very crazy. I feel like if you can consistently create a few more illustrations, right, that look like, okay, it's a part of a collection, you can definitely, because there's a lot of character over here. I don't know why I would kind of imagine a brighter, like a more saturated feel to it. The red has it, but this color palette does not. So it just kind of really feels very CMYK, like, like the printing has gone wrong. But other than that, it looks very cool. I like the stickers and the text thing. So the type is a very important part over here. So this is honestly a very good start. This is Momina.
I went for like a bold text and popping colors.
Honestly, I love the type, especially what you've done with the T, It already had like a very, like I said, a Cartoon Network feel to it, but the fact that you made it look like some character with like weird teeth, kind of took a bite, just brings it all together. Even adding this thing, you're kind of owning that part. I like that you've taken approaches for the 1 hour, which makes sense. I like how this is something that you didn't make and you just copy pasted. Which is amazing. But like this is what I also do sometimes when you're making presentations and we have to give it in a few hours to a client. I do this. I literally sometimes I don't even change because this is not a problem. Obviously, if you can do this in an hour, obviously given more time, you can go. But you have a few very cool elements, especially the type, and then pairing it up with this zigzag lines, right? I would say if you're taking, and I would say you should like kind of create like a proper presentation out of it, give it like a few more days maybe, right? So this is beautiful. I love how everything is, the color palette, the feel, the type itself, very strong, works out. I like this structure more than the other one because it's much more broken. It has that wonkiness to it. I think this is Hafsa.
Yes, so I was going for a pixelated vibe, a gamified vibe, but not too retro, but still modern.
Yeah, I feel like there are like a few good things that could really be taken ahead. For example, this logo, right? It has a very like original vibe to it, right? It looks weird, but I think if you can justify it with the rest of the branding, that does make sense. I would expect you to use like a pixel font because you have the reason to use it, right? Or something that looks like in a gamified world, it's not only pixelation, it's more gamification, especially over here, right? 8-bit art. You can see there's a lot that you can use from here. So you don't need to really think about, okay, patterns could come in, but you have a lot of assets that you can use to create like your own gamified version of Bun and Bite. Sorry, I just didn't know who Minhal was, but now we know it's Khadija. You have like nice visuals that you've taken. I feel like this bottom bit, right, looks very cool. Visually, I think with a lot of the stuff where, how when branding has been taught to us in very conventional ways, it's like logo variation and then pattern, right? But how many brands do you interact with that have a pattern? With let's say with like food brands, yes, in butter paper you see pattern, or like in packaging they kind of translate it. I would say honestly you should work on this a bit more to kind of really expand into packaging maybe, or some other thing. Even the visuals look good, but having some branding element over here just make it more complete. But this is a very rushed exercise, but you have some very nice bits, especially the logo being my favorite in this one. So good stuff. Abdullah is here. Abdullah, how about we just review this right now? I feel like the visuals that you're taking, like especially the color correction of the visuals is very nice. I would like to appreciate that part because you're using the reds are coming in. It's like good color coordination, good art direction. Obviously, you could have like more than just the logo to like really bring it together, but for this 1 hour thing, I feel like you've taken your strongest point, which is film and photography, and kind of used that. Even this visual looks very nice. I just want you to kind of build up on it, but bringing this all together looks very cool. So good start, to be honest. Obviously it requires more authenticity with like in terms of how are you kind of pushing in with packaging, or when you're doing merch, like would be just the text, But yeah, very cool. Like this visual and even this uncle over here, very nice. And I feel like when you're showing like this very intense visual, then you can explore a bit more copy too. Amazing, guys. Overall, I think I'm proud of all of you guys. Some of you guys did slightly better than others, obviously, but that shows how good you are with Photoshop or design or other things, right? So give yourself some time every week, maybe. If you don't have clients right now to rush for and have that pressure, it's good, honestly, to get better at your craft, because once you have clients, it really becomes a very hard thing. Like how many designers do you know that are doing very good and they are very successful getting projects, are really putting out their case studies out there in the world or showing off their portfolios because they don't get time. It's a big struggle for us also. We have a dedicated team to go like, oh, we have a project, make a case study. So this is a practice that really obviously it pisses someone off to like, oh, how are you doing this in an hour? But a lot of good ideas that I have made recently have been made in a few hours.